はい、今回は人道支援系ですね。この3つのお題、とっても重たいお題で、やればやるほど、調べれば調べるほど心が重くなっていく日々でしたね。Refugees では、私今回の反省点としては実際のそのイエメンとかシリアとかその他たくさんの Refugee の人たちの具体的な具体例もちょっと欲しかったなと反省しています。ファーストボディでは、Universal Declaration of Human Rights について触れて、セカンドボディではユニセフと UNHCR がどんなことをしているのかっていうので、最後サードボディでは、The New York Declaration for Refugees and Migrants について書いてるんですけども、ちょっと具体的にもうちょっと実際こんな状況だっていうのを入れたらよかったなと思ってます。で、最後コンクルージョンのところでアントニオ・グチェレスさんの、発言的なことを入れてます。
How can UN support refugees? I will discuss ways the UN supports refugees by mentioning its convention, the Global Compact, special organization, and current activities. The Refugee Convention became legally binding in 1954, built on Article 14 of Universal Declaration of Human Rights, right to seek asylum from persecution in other countries. Countries ratified the convention are obliged to protect refugee, though no body monitors compliance, which UNHCR cannot enforce because of absence of formal mechanism. Currently, the Office of UN High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, offers emergency support and resettlement for refugees. It works to ensure that everybody has the right to seek asylum and find safe refuge in another country. Also, as part of its global policy for the Children on the Move program, UNICEF is promoting measures to combat xenophobia, discrimination, and marginalization in countries populated by refugees. Both have helped millions of refugees restart their lives. But the situation is overwhelming. In the light of dire situation, in the New York Declaration for Refugees and Migrants, adopted in 2016, the General Assembly decided to develop a global compact for safe, orderly and regular migration. The process to develop this global compact for migration started in 2017. The General Assembly will then hold an intergovernmental conference on international migration in 2018. With a view to adopting the Global Compact. Secretary General Antonio Guterres urges member states to uphold human rights, making prevention a first priority by tackling root causes of conflict and reacting early.
はい、humanitarian crisis、 これが大きなお題で、どっから手をつけたものかっていうのでどうしていいか分かんなくなって、まずファーストボディでは SDGs に逃げ逃げたというか、それぞれの問題が、それぞれに関係があるって相互関係があるので、一個だけ切り離してここだけ直しましょうっていうわけにはいかない問題なんですよね。で、セカンドボディでは OCHR の取り組みですね。で、最後のボディでは2016年の The World's Humanitarian Summit について触れています。では聞いてみましょう。
How can UN address the humanitarian crisis? I will discuss ways the UN address the humanitarian crisis, with reference to its inclusive and integral measures. In the wake of the worst level of human suffering since World War II, including climate change, food shortage, inequality, conflicts, refugees, violent extremism, terrorism, and poverty, the UN has launched the 2030 Agenda, which is also called the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, to tackle these problems. There are 17 goals and they encompass these global woes. Because each issue correlates to each other, and the goals leaving no one behind policy can eventually lead to holistic prosperity. All related specialized agencies of UN work together to achieve these goals to end this crisis. OCHA, United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, mobilizes humanitarian assistance for people in need, and it delivers its mandate through 5 core functions: coordination, humanitarian financing, policy, advocacy, and information management. OCHA has its own assessment system called Humanitarian Program Cycle, by which it provides effective emergency preparedness, coordination with national and local authorities and humanitarian actors, and information management. In the meantime, prior Secretary General, Ban Ki-moon, convened the World Humanitarian Summit to generate commitments to reduce suffering and deliver better support for people around the globe. The summit took place in Istanbul in May 2016. 5 main aspects of this summit are to prevent and end conflict, respect rules of war, leave no one behind, work differently to end need, and invest in humanity. With its expertise and global networks, UN is tackling root causes of humanitarian crisis.
はい、ポーバティもこれはSDGs と絡めるとワンパラグラフできるっていうタイプのやつですね。まずファーストボディでは UN チャーターについて触れて、セカンドボディでどっかで見たことのあるような他の作文でも見たような UNDP、SDGs、IBRD を絡めて一つ書くと。で、サードボディでは FAO の取り組みについて書いてますね。じゃあ聞いてみましょう。
How can UN end poverty? I will discuss ways the UN end poverty by mentioning the UN Charter, the International Covenant, projects, and special organizations. The purposes the UN is clearly stipulates Chapter 1. UN aims at solving international problems of an economic, social, cultural, or humanitarian character. The International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights enshrines the rights to work, an adequate standard of living, housing, food, health and education, aiming at poverty eradication. The UN puts end poverty in all its forms everywhere as the first goal of its 2030 Agenda, organized by UNDP, also known as the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. The UN attacks the root causes complex, multiple, and interconnected factors of poverty that stem from climate change, unemployment, social exclusion, and high vulnerability of certain population to disasters, diseases and other phenomena, which prevent them from being productive. International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, IBRD, is working with countries to end poverty and boost prosperity for the poorest people. It has teamed up with BNP Paribas, an international banking group, to promote SDGs through innovative finance. FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, is promoting the rapid transformation of farming and food systems to cope with a warmer world, such as adopting climate-smart practices and help reduce poverty. FAO is supporting small-scale irrigation and other forms of agricultural water management to build resilience to increased climate variability. UN efforts to end poverty are transformational, covering people all over the world, and are fundamentally changing the way economic systems operate.
はい、いかがでしたでしょうか。SDGs ばっかり出てきてね。はい、当時ですね、その国連英検というよりも SDGs にはまりすぎて、勉強会を開いたり、鹿肉を食べ尽くせっていうようなイベントをやってました。北海道ではかなり交通事故の害が出たり、農作物を食べられたりして結構な害が出ているので、それの一助となるかと思って鹿肉を出してるレストランを食べ歩いてましたね。で、あと友人とSDGs チャンスまで作ったっていう。で、当時ですね、友人と一緒に SDGs の動画も作ってみたんですね。それがこちらになります。お時間に取りのある方はぜひご覧ください。
The 2030 Agenda, also known as SDGs, is organized by UNDP, United Nations Development Program, and aims at ending poverty, addressing disparity, and tackling climate change. The SDGs will target areas of importance for humanity and the Earth: people, planet, prosperity, peace, and partnership. This objective is summarized in 17 goals. Goal 1. End poverty in all its forms everywhere. Goal 2. End hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. Goal 3. Ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. Goal 4. Ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Goal 5. Achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. Goal 6. Ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. Goal 7. Ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. Goal 8. Promote sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. Goal 9. Build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. Goal 10. Reduce inequality within and among countries. Goal 11. make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. Goal 12. Ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. Goal 13. Take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. Goal 14. Conserve and sustainably use the oceans, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. Goal 15. Protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems, sustainably manage forests, combat desertification, and halt and reverse land degradation and halt biodiversity loss. Goal 16. Promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development, provide access to justice for all, and build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. Goal 17. Strengthen the means of implementation and revitalize the global partnership for sustainable development. Among these goals, it is especially urgent to consider the preservation of the global environment. To ensure partnership across all levels of people, the UN works to encourage cooperation on national, regional, and global levels.